Good morning. It's been an exceptionally mild October and November, certainly here where we are, but the weather's now changed. Well, what's the date? 22nd of November, so we've had all of October and all of November really mild. The weather's changed yesterday and it's gone really chilly, more usual for this time of year. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just shifting some of the plants, geraniums and fuchsias and what have you, into the greenhouse. Oh, this greenhouse already is turning into a dumping ground. Gotta keep it tidy. So every year I used to buy new fuchsias and geraniums from the garden centre, you know, just the little ones in the pots to go into the baskets and the garden pots. But once we got the greenhouse, I realised it was perfectly doable to bring them in every winter, just to overwinter here and bring them out again in the spring. It means you haven't got to buy them every year. Why would you buy them when you don't have to? And what started out as tiny little fuchsias mainly, well, that one I bought, that one I did buy this year, and that's about doubled in size, but I'll keep that indoors in the greenhouse over this winter. But I've got these big ones at the back here. Let's see if I can show you, which are great big things now. Don't look very nice at the minute, mind, do they? And they started out as those little ones. The only issue is this year they didn't do really very well because we had that terribly cold spring, if you remember, and I had to get them all out of the greenhouse because I needed to make room for the seedlings. So they really got knocked back, the fuchsias in particular. So I haven't had a very good show from them this year, but never mind, they've lived, they're not dead, and we got a little bit from them. Next year it's going to be a better year for sure. We're going to have a lovely mild spring and a long autumn, and it's going to be fabulous, and there's going to be no pests in my garden. Well, the hens are enjoying the free range experience that they get in the autumn when they can come out and scratch up all the garden. I hope you can see this whole patch behind me. It's where I had potatoes and then squash. It's beautifully tilled and we haven't laid a finger on it. I'll give you a close-up shot to show you, but this is all the work of the hens. They just go over and scratch, scratch, scratch. So it's ideal really, because I try and do no dig, but I'm not religiously stuck to it. But this way I don't dig it and they just scratch it all over and give it a kind of fine tilling on the top. I'm not sure if it shows up on the camera very well. Looks a bit weedy actually on the camera, but this is all beautifully tilled over, and as well as that they manure into it while they're scratching, which gives some extra fertilization. That's Maureen. She's a dud hen, she doesn't lay eggs. This is the seaweed fertilizer that I made last week. It was seaweed, comfrey and borage, and I pushed them all into a pair of tights. If you watched last week's video, you can see that happening. And this is the second time I've given it a little bit of a mix. It's not smelling bad actually, a little whiff when I opened it up there. But it's definitely working. It's looking murky in there. Well, I've popped up to the allotment today because I want to check on something. Believe it or not, I'm still not finished with the pest damage on this allotment this year. I've had so much this year. Got another problem going on, I'll show you after this.
When I've been coming up to the allotment for the past couple of weeks, every time I've checked the sprouts and the purple sprouting broccoli, certain plants, not all of them, have had clouds and clouds of white fly just blooming up from the plant, masses of the things. And then when I've looked underneath the leaves, they were just absolutely coated with the flies, and I don't know whether it's the eggs or the poo or what it is, I don't know. You can just wipe it off with your hand. So I was going to have to take some kind of remedial action, but when I look today, actually there's no clouds of white fly. They seem to have gone. All you can see is these little white marks, if you can see them underneath the leaves. They seem to be alive, those, I think they are little flies or something, but in the main they've gone.
Well, I'm glad to see that the cold weather seems to be putting paid to the worst of the white fly. I will keep an eye on them to see what happens over the next couple of weeks, but honestly, I mean, you don't get major pests like that in the winter, do you, usually? So hopefully that's the end of that. What I was going to do was make just a little solution with some fairy liquid and water in a spray bottle and give them a spray and just wipe them off physically. Obviously you don't want to use nasty pesticides on leaves when I'm going to be eating them. So another thing I've just noticed over the past couple of weeks as well is there's something strange just happening to one of the plants of me sprouting broccoli, and I wonder if any of you can identify what it is. I can't understand what this is. It's like the little flowerets are kind of going white, and there's like a white plaque thing on there. I'll show you closer. I hope you can focus on that. See this white thing here, and then the little heads all seem slightly deformed and whitish, so they haven't formed properly. So no idea what that is. As it is, it's only affecting one of me plants, so that's good so far. Well, these are just baby leeks, but it's lovely to be able to harvest something at this time of year. I'll get the worst of the mud off before I take them home. It's a beautiful day today, although so cold, as I've said, compared with what we're used to. We actually were pretty lucky, and on Saturday we got the last mild day maybe of the year, who knows, and we took this day trip up to a town called Rothbury, which is about an hour away from us. It's a beautiful Northumbrian small town with the classic Northumbrian stone cottages everywhere, and we were able to take a lovely walk up at the top of the valley and up onto the moors. Rothbury sits on the River Coquet in the Coquet Valley. Beautiful Northumbrian countryside full of woodland and just natural beauty. So we enjoyed the last mild day up there, which was lovely. So, final task of the day, we have got these bags of apples. We've been given 3 different lots of apples from 3 different lots of people, and they've been sitting in the garage. They're not really in a condition that'll store properly, you know, there's a few windfalls and what have you in there. So it's time to get them sorted. I've kind of been putting it off. They all need peeling and chopping up and putting into the freezer. Yeah, these need sorting. Look at that. Starting to go bad, some of them. Right, I'm going to take these apples in the house and start sorting them out before the hens peck them. If you want to store apples and you can't store them as they are, if they're not in good enough condition, all you need to do is peel them, slice them up and just pop them in a bag or a container, and you can just freeze them raw like that and take them out when you want to use them. That's my preferred method, because it means I can use them for anything I want and I haven't got a huge load of cooking to do before I can even get to the freezing stage. Thank you for joining me again this week. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.